today I am going to give you my ownership review on Yamaha FZS version 2.0. I must tell you guys that Yamaha FZS is still the smoothest fuel injected 150 that you will get in this price segment. Okay, so now I will talk about my bike. It has completed 1 year and approximately 5200 kilometers. As you can see, I have kept the bike almost stock and have not changed anything major. I have installed an helmet guard, as you can see, and this is a disc lock, and this is a pillion footrest for my mom as she is used to the commuter segment bikes, and so she needed one, so I had to install it. Other than that, I have not installed anything else. The overall fit and finish is good as per the Yamaha, but you can see it is still loose when parked. The headlight cowling is very much loose, as you can see. It vibrates a lot when you hit 50 or 60 kilometers per hour. It will not come out, but I am just telling you that it is very loose. This is the 2016 model and hence has a large mudguard. And the problem with it is that it will rattle after some time as the screws get loose if you frequently put the bike in potholes. Sometimes this fenders, as you can see, get broken easily, and hence you have to change it. I had to change my left fender, or the Yamaha calls it stay. It costed me around rupees 190, as you can see. It actually had cost around 150, but with the GST and all that, it went up to 190. Only this fender part. So I think that the mudguard given in the rear is slightly delicate. It is cheap plastic, I think so. The screws get loose after around 400 to 500 kilometers, and so you have to tighten it. Otherwise, you will hear rattling sounds after some time. The overall seating posture of this bike is very excellent. I like it, and the safety is also excellent because I just had an incident where I slipped on the road, and as you can see, the paint here has come out due to the friction between the leg guard and the road. But fortunately, I remained on the bike, and so I did not face any injuries, and so I was saved. As you can see, the rear indicators have become loose after 1 year, but they are still okay and have maintained their position, so it is not a problem. But I think where you touch or contact the most, like these parts, these edges, you see that the paint has slightly come out. By the way, I like the small storage under the rear seat. As you can see, I can keep here small documents and the toolkit you get with it. If you see clearly, I don't know. Mm, this is the ECU or engine control unit, which ultimately fuels or powers your bike. So I hope that you don't play with it as your bike may fail to start or malfunction. The headlight, as I would say, is kind of average, not the powerful, but still lightens up the entire road for you. So it should make work for most of the people. The shock absorbers in the front are telescopic forks and are 41 millimeter in thickness and do an excellent job in sucking up the. But the same cannot be said about the rear shock absorber, as I think it is a motocross standard shock absorber, and so whichever setting you set it on, it will be hard As you can see, I have set the shock absorber on the softest setting, that is 7, but still the ride quality is quite hard. I think the company has kept tightly sprung suspension to maintain high speed stability, and hence you cannot do much about that. I will say that the bike starts in a single crank and has not failed for a single time in this 1 year. As you can see, the bike starts in a single crank and does not make much fuss about it. Now let's talk about the bike's performance. I must say the overall and the in-gear acceleration is very smooth. Within no time the bike touches 85 to 90 kmph, and after that to reach 100 and more it struggles a lot. The bike is very stable at low speeds as well as very high speeds. You can ride it at very low speed, as low as 2 to 3 kilometer per hour, without need to touch your feet to the ground, and it is most stable at around 80 to 85 kilometers per hour. As per me, I feel that this is the optimum speed for both comfort and stability, so I maintain around 80 to 85 kmph. You can do triple digit speed also without any problem, but the bike will struggle past 90 kmph. You will reach triple digit speeds, but it will be very hard to maintain the triple digit speeds, as the bike gets slightly unstable after crossing 100. What I think is that the bike is great for city riding and mild highway riding, but I think that if you want to ride on highways more, then you should opt for a cruiser with a greater capacity. The bike has a great low range and mid range and is best suited for city riding. Now, I think regarding the gearing, the company should have provided the sixth gear, because even if you put bike in the fifth gear, the bike still struggles or seems to be struggling at around 65 to 70 kmph. But I think it is the characteristic of this FZ engine that it feels like it is struggling. It does 55 kmph at 4500 rpm, 65 kmph at around 5000 rpm, and at around 6500 rpm it crosses 75 and reaches up to 80-85. The heat dissipation is very well in this bike, and I have not faced any heating issues past 1 year. What I have experienced is that if you have heavy pillion or more luggage in your backside, then there are chances that the ground clearance of the bike decreases, and as a result, this part of the mud guard, as you can see, scratches, and there is a friction between this part and this part, and as a result, the paint has got removed from here. Yamaha should do something about this issue. It doesn't affect the performance of this motorcycle in any which way, but I think this really needs to be checked. Now, what I have noticed with the potential buyers of today is that they fear to purchase a bike which lacks a Kickstarter and only has an electric start. But I must tell you one thing, guys, that the electric starter provided in the bikes which are only equipped with electric starter and no Kickstarter is are of very high quality, and as such do not fail to start the bike. Electric starters provided in the bike, which are also equipped with Kickstarter, are of cheap quality and does tend to fail as compared to the bikes which are only equipped with electric starter. I must tell you guys that more and more bike manufacturers have started ditching the Kickstarter for better aesthetics, and instead I was started opting for only electric starter, which is of good quality, and hence you will not face any starting problems in the morning. Let's talk about the mileage of this bike. I get around 40 to 43 kmpl. Since there is no on and reserve knob on this bike, since it is a fuel injected, as there is a fuel pump which sucks the petrol from your tank directly to the fuel intake nozzle. So I had to calculate the mileage of this bike using tank full to tank full method, and it gave me around 40.8 to 43.5 kmpl, depends on how you drive your bike. The quality of the switchgear in this bike is top notch, and the fit and finish is also good, and so you will not face any problem. The one thing which I do feel is that the company should have provided an two trip meters instead of a single trip meter. Start showing only two bars or a single bar, or the single bar starts blinking, then it is time that you must refill your bike. If you like this video, then put a thumbs up. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. If you have any doubts regarding your Yamaha FZ, then feel free to post them in the comment section. Till then, this is Shubham Patil signing off. Ride safe, ride responsibly.